Many people feel disoriented when the financial story keeps changing. One week optimism, the next week concern, and they wonder how to stay grounded when the narrative never seems to settle. In this video, we're going to explain how to stay oriented when the financial story keeps changing, even when headlines and explanations seem to shift constantly. This matters because changing narratives can create confusion and anxiety, especially when people try to adjust their understanding every time the story changes. Learning how to stay oriented reduces stress and helps maintain perspective. We're not predicting what comes next, offering advice, or evaluating which narrative is right. We're simply explaining why stories change and how to remain grounded as they do. We'll explain why narratives shift, how they differ from underlying conditions, and what mental anchors help maintain clarity. The goal here is steadiness, not certainty and not urgency. Financial stories change because they react to new data, new interpretations, new expectations. Stories are built to explain the present moment. As conditions evolve, the explanation evolves too. This doesn't mean previous stories were lies. They were incomplete snapshots. Stories describe what's happening now. Structure explains why things behave the way they do over time. Structure changes slowly. Stories change quickly. When people confuse stories with structure, they feel like reality itself is unstable. In truth, it's the narrative that's moving, not the foundation. Humans look for consistency to feel safe. When explanations shift, confidence erodes, understanding feels temporary, stress increases. This doesn't reflect weakness. It reflects how the mind processes uncertainty. Orientation is not about predicting outcomes. It's about knowing what has changed, what has not, what matters long-term. An oriented person doesn't react to every update. They understand which information reshapes context and which simply updates the story. This distinction reduces mental fatigue. Staying oriented often means resisting the urge to respond immediately. When information arrives constantly, distance creates clarity. Stepping back allows patterns to emerge, signals to separate from noise, emotion to settle. Orientation is a slower process, and that's its strength. Instead of asking, "What should I believe now?" a more useful question is, "What framework still applies regardless of the story?" Frameworks endure. Stories rotate. Anchoring to frameworks restores stability. This episode brings the series together. You now understand why the economy feels loud, why good news can feel bad, why income, savings, and comfort disconnect, why stress exists without crisis, why debt and saving feel harder, how to separate noise from signals, how to stay oriented amid change. Each episode was designed to remove one layer of confusion. You now understand that staying oriented means separating stories from structure, recognizing what changes slowly, engaging with information calmly. This perspective helps you remain grounded even as financial narratives continue to shift. Please like this video if you have enjoyed it or received any benefit from it. Every one of your likes truly encourages us to continue creating helpful content. Thank you for watching and have a blessed day.